He killed at least 5 people. He taunted the police with letters. He sent encrypted ciphers that took 51 years to solve. And he was never caught. This is the story of the Zodiac killer. And it is far stranger than most people know. Welcome to Closed Case Open. Today, we open the file on the most taunting serial killer in American history. It is 1968, Northern California. A young couple is parked at a lover's lane in Benicia late at night. 2 gunshots ring out. David Faraday is killed instantly. Betty Lou Jensen runs from the car and is shot 5 times in the back before she reaches the road. She dies on the spot. No witnesses, no motive, no suspect. 6 months later, it happens again. July 4th, 1969. Another couple parked at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo. Darlene Farron and Michael Mageau are shot at close range. Mageau survives despite being shot multiple times. Farron does not. Less than an hour after the shooting, an anonymous call is made to the Vallejo Police Department. A male voice calmly reports the murders and then says something chilling. He tells them he also committed the Benicia killings from 6 months earlier. Then the letters began. 1 month after the Vallejo shooting, 3 letters arrived simultaneously. 1 to the Vallejo Times-Herald, 1 to the San Francisco Chronicle, 1 to the San Francisco Examiner. Each letter contained details about the murders that only the killer could have known. Each letter contained 1/3 of a strange encrypted cipher. The killer demanded the newspapers print his ciphers on their front pages, or he would go on a killing rampage. He signed each letter with a symbol, a circle with a cross through it, like a gun sight. He called himself the Zodiac. The newspapers printed the ciphers. Amateur codebreakers across the country attempted to crack them. A high school teacher named Donald Harden and his wife cracked the first cipher within a week. The decoded message was deeply disturbing. It spoke of killing as a form of pleasure and collecting slaves for the afterlife. But it contained no name, no identity, nothing that could lead investigators to the killer. The murders continued. September 1969, Lake Berryessa. A man wearing a black hood with the Zodiac symbol stitched onto the chest approached 2 college students, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, picnicking by the lake. He tied them up and stabbed them repeatedly. Shepard died 2 days later. Hartnell survived. Before leaving, the killer carved the Zodiac symbol into the door of their car, along with the dates of his previous attacks. 2 weeks later, a cab driver named Paul Stein was shot in the head in San Francisco. Witnesses saw the killer calmly wipe down the cab with a cloth before walking away into the night. 3 teenagers watched from a window directly above and called police. Officers arriving at the scene were mistakenly told to look for a black suspect. The Zodiac, who was white, walked directly past 2 responding officers in the dark and disappeared. After the Stein murder, the letters became more aggressive. The Zodiac wrote directly to the San Francisco Chronicle, boasting about the cab driver killing. He included a piece of Paul Stein's bloody shirt as proof. He threatened to shoot children on school buses. He claimed to have committed far more murders than investigators knew about. Some letters contained new ciphers, some contained diagrams. Some were addressed directly to specific detectives and lawyers by name. The most famous of these ciphers was called the 340 cipher, named for its 340 characters. It was sent in November 1969. For 51 years, it resisted every attempt at decryption. Professional codebreakers, government agencies, computer programs, amateur enthusiasts, nobody could crack it. Then, in December 2020, a team of 3 private codebreakers using a computer program finally decoded it. The message inside was chilling, but again revealed no identity. It taunted investigators and referenced his killing philosophy. The Zodiac had kept his secret even inside the cipher. The investigation became one of the largest in California history. Hundreds of suspects were investigated. The most famous was Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted sex offender who matched multiple witness descriptions and had suspicious connections to the case. His handwriting was analyzed, his property was searched, his car was examined. But investigators could never gather enough evidence to charge him. He died in 1992 without ever being officially named as the Zodiac. The letters stopped around 1974. The last confirmed communication from the Zodiac claimed he had committed 37 murders. Investigators confirmed at least 5. The true number may never be known. Here is what makes this case so deeply unsettling. The Zodiac did not hide. He called police stations. He wrote to newspapers. He sent physical evidence of his crimes through the mail. He walked past responding officers in the dark. He taunted an entire city for years in plain sight. And despite one of the most intensive investigations in American history, he was never identified, never arrested, never charged. The ciphers have been cracked, but the identity behind them never was. Was the Zodiac a single killer or multiple people using the same symbol? Did he really commit 37 murders? Is he still alive today? And why did someone so desperate for attention suddenly go silent? The case was closed, but the identity was never found. If this case deserves to stay open, subscribe. A new case drops every week on Closed Case Open. Nothing stays buried forever.